Well, hello, my fellow car models. How are you doing today? I've been wanting to do a video about this model kit, but more of an origin story on this model kit. I know it came out about a year ago. I'm sure there's been lots of what's in the boxes, and we're going to open this baby up because I've been looking forward to getting this. I just haven't. Finally, one came in, and Andy held it for me, and I snagged it. So, yes, I've been wanting this kit, even though I already have it in a way. And we're going to get into that right after the music. All right, so as you can see, it's still in its wrapper here for me. We're going to open this baby up, take a quick look. And when we're looking at the box art, I want you to just notice, it's 24th scale. That's important. We're going to get to that soon. It is a Revell. Nowhere, even here, it shows, you could get this stuff with glue. This is a cool thing, molded in white. But do you know something? This was a great add-on from having any of these in the old. Yes, this is probably the 5th or 6th incarnation of this kit, but that's like the greatest decal sheet to come with it. You can do all the colors. I actually want to do, here's a whole story, maybe I'll tell you in this video, but I have this really heart connection to 85 Z28. Notice it's Z28, not IROC, not IROC Z. In 1985 only. 1985 was the first year of the IROC and the first year of the body design changes, if you people, and I'm going to be showing you that. 85 was a total changeover for the 3rd generation Camaro and Firebird, and they changed the bumpers and a few other things. Back in 1985, they did Z28s and they did IROCs. And IROC at that time was just an added package to the Z28. 86, they went with the IROC Z, and there was no more Z28s. The thing that was different between IROCs, if you know IROCs, they had a little bit different grille in this area. They had a license plate and driving lights, and this had the slats, the Z28 did in 85, which later they used this in the RS, which was a V6. Yeah, I know a lot about these 3rd gens because everybody kind of knows me as, hey, I got my little Fox body and I have a 06 Mustang that I drive around in, so I got 2 Mustangs. But I was a Camaro Firebird guy, especially in the 80s. I owned quite a few of these 3rd gens, mostly Firebirds. I really loved them a lot. And I walked into a dealership and there was a car exactly like this. It was this beautiful metallic blue with the silver. It's just a color combination. I love that car. Was so beautiful, and I'll never forget. I asked, so how much is it? It was $16,000. $16,000 car. Man, that was big money back in 1985. But let's get this open. But that's why I don't know. I was really attracted to the box art. It's cool that this is molded in white, and I'll show you why here in a little bit. And let's go ahead and open this up. There's another thing about looking at the box. Now, anywhere on this box does it say it's a snap kit.
Wait, what?
I'm not bagging Revell at all. Which, by the way, this started out as a monogram kit. I'm not going to bag Revell. I'm not going to take a dump on this kit at all because honestly, I know what is entailed. Some people were kind of shocked and felt a little displeased by it, but I'm going to tell you some facts about this kit that why you should look at the really good features about it. Let's take a look. First of all, the great feature about this kit for me is that it's molded in white, and for what I want to do, because look at that, there's I always loved when they had the checkerboard taillights when the 85s came out. But here we go. Nowhere do they talk about, we're going to look at this first. Nowhere do they talk about it being a snap kit. They even let's see if they even mention about gluing. This is 100% snap kit. Let's see if they say anything about cementing anywhere in this. This is 100% snap kit. It's very simplified, but it still builds into a really good looking 3rd gen Camaro. Nope, nowhere did it say anything about gluing. So it's a glorified snap kit. There's nothing wrong with snap kits. I love. Oh, good. They do have the silver one. I was hoping I want to use the silver band on the blue, not the blue. That's fantastic. Oh, I love that. That is great. Let's go ahead and open this up. I'm going to get the box out of the way. Let's see. Wow, those are actually monogram molds right there. Because again, this is a monogram. Is there a chrome tree in here? No, they didn't. The old versions had chrome trees, and we're going to talk about the old versions in a little bit. First, let's look at this because we got to get looking at this thing. All right, here we go, and it is the kit that I thought. Beautiful in white. That's nice. There it is. Very nice proportions. It is perfect for a 24th scale 3rd gen Z28. Oh, I love those wheels. This is basically, yeah, it's the same kit. So there's the engine. That's all you got. You got a separate engine bay, which I think is kind of cool. That gives you a nice option if you want to just use this body for a race car and not have an engine bay. It's already done. The IROC louvered front, what the heck would you call that? They were essentially kind of scoops, but not really non-functional. They were decorative louvers on the hood. There's the upper portion of your engine, your rear end. Very basic, but very well detailed. Look at that. If you guys are familiar with 80s Camaro Z28, that is a familiar steering wheel. And one of my favorite parts of both the Camaro and the Firebird, what I loved about those cars, when you sat in them, they were just so special and so unique. They had the coolest dashboards with this big long pad that came out and just everything was sunk way back. It was like this ledge. I always loved their dashboards. And that's a pretty nice looking, fairly accurate dashboard for those cars. It's simplified, but it would build up into a very nice model. Now, I'm going to keep just the body and this hood because I got something I want to show you guys. Now we're going to get into the history of this kit.
You're watching the Luka C channel on YouTube.
Now this kit actually started its life. Now remember, this is an 85, right? The kit actually started its life as a snap type from Monogram of an 83 Z28. And pretty quickly, there was a second version that came out. There was a popular TV series in the 80s, little like drama detectives, Simon and Simon. And of course, one of the brothers, they had an Z28. And so they Monogram put out, dun 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 dun, snap tight Z28. But do you notice something if you guys are familiar with your 3rd gen Camaros and Firebirds? This kit is completely, it's the same kit, but it is basically an 82 to 84 Z28. And of course it's in red. But if you can see the differences, you see the differences between the 82 to 84 Camaros and then the 85 to 88 is, well, you can see in the nose right off the bat. Early 80s, they were still that late 70s, everything very squared and sharp. Look at how precise. Everything was very squared off and sharp and angular. And by 85, they started kind of really smoothing things out. And you can see also in the back, you can see the difference. And also the ground effects for 85, they got much bigger. See that? Or let's just, you can see ground effects were a lot smaller on the 82 to 84. And then, of course, the real recognizable thing is, the 82 to 84, which 82 was the only year that they actually had functional flaps and the hood was fiberglass. I believe that only lasted in 82, 83. They got rid of the functional. From what I heard, those would open up in the rain. It would suck water into your crossfire injection, or what we all used to like to call it, misfire injection. It wasn't very impressive. But that was a very distinctive thing of the third gen Camaros, was that like NACA duck. Then you can see I made them a little bigger come 85, and they went with the louver look. That is the subtle differences between the two. But everything else in this kit is the same. What was also very unique, and you see it was from Monogram, by 85, which this kit was still being produced, they continued to use the Simon & Simon licensing for a while. I remember this kit all the time. And the funny thing is this is my other one. I have two of them. They eventually retooled. They also came out with a retooled body version with a yellow Z28 on there. But sometimes you'd get the Simon & Simon, the later versions. Look at that. It's just like our new kit. So I have two Simon & Simon kits, and there's your big hood. I have two Simon & Simon kits. One's an earlier one, which has the 83, which they called it. They didn't really put the year on the box art, but this was basically what they called their 83. There was really no differences, very little differences between 82, 83, 84. And then the changeover of the 85 right there. So later on, you would get the Simon & Simon kit as an 85, which is what this is. And they never changed it after that. Simon & Simon kit came with, because the one brother ran these kind of wheels. So the stock Z28 wheels are not in these kits, which would have been cool to have the 82, 83, 84 wheels. That's really kind of interesting how it was, you never knew what you were going to get when you would buy a sealed Simon & Simon car. That's why I bought two of them, because I was lucky enough, which these are very hard to find when they're the early ones. And the other kit, I've seen the first version of this kit going for like $80 on eBay, and there was one. And I wouldn't have mind having another one, but I've got one, so I can do an 83, 82, 83, 84. Now, you might be sitting there saying, well, Luka, you're out of your mind. What's the big deal? There's other companies. MPC did a really nice IROC. And, of course, AMT had a very nice 82 Z28. I have all those kits. They're really great. There's one difference. They're all 25th scale. This is the only 24th scale 3rd gen Z28 put out, the street car. There was, of course, the drag cars that Monogram put out. Street car, only one. And why I bought these back in the 80s was I was more of a Firebird fan. I loved the Monogram 85 Firebird, and I also they have the 82, 83. It was all the same kit, and they would just add what needed to be added to update it. But I remember I got the 85 Firebird. I built it, and I wanted to have a Z28 next to it. Problem was, all of them were 25th scale. This was the only one, and I, for a long time ago, there's got to be something. I don't want to get the Snap kit. But it was the only choice to have a 24 scale IROC or Z28 to sit next to my Firebird Trans Am. And it's something I still want to do, which a plan is I want to build the blue and silver 85 Trans Am, and I want to do a blue and silver 85 Z28. Have them sit next to each other. If you were to build like an MPC or AMT, and I have those and want to build them, but if you were to do that and put it next to your Monogram Trans Am, there's a definite difference. they're so much smaller. So I hope you found this interesting, and I hope it kind of, if you were on the fence of getting this kit because, oh man, it's kind of simplified. I don't get it. Well, that's why. It's a snap kit, but it was the only 24 scale 3rd gen Z28 ever put out. There might be something floating around there, like one of the Japanese companies. I know sometimes they would do them. I know there was a 24 scale Trans Am from one of the Japanese companies, but honestly, they weren't proportioned well. This is proportioned just about perfect, and it looks really nice up against those phenomenal 3rd gen Trans Ams that Monogram did. Those are just, I love those kits. So anyways, it's just another thing that I find so fun about this hobby. I love it when these companies keep repopping them. I know some people complain about it, but this is an old one, man. We're talking 40 years old. It was tooled up. You can every once in a while find all the different versions. And there's a really cool timeline right here. I'll show you. That's on ScaleMate. I don't always trust ScaleMates, but this is pretty dead on correct the way they laid that out. I'm so glad this came back out. It's a cool kit. I love it. And I'm looking forward to building it. It's an easy one. It could be a good slump buster because it's so simple. Anyways, thank you all for watching. I, again, hope you learned something from this. I hope you enjoy this. Put in the comments below if you like these little history lessons I'd love to do on model kits and little origins. You might have thinking that, oh, this is a brand new kit, been just tooled by Revell, to come to find out that this is an old Monogram kit that's been around a long time and it's done its rounds. And the fact that it's the only game in town for a 24 scale Z28. So, gosh, that's fun. I guess that's why I do this with these model cars, because they are fun, right? Here's the producers.